I believe traveling and learning about another culture is an important lesson that the world has to offer. But I believe the time you spend abroad teaches you bigger lessons, lessons about yourself and who you are as a human being. When I was a freshman in high school, my family and I decided to host an exchange student from Germany. Her name's Lisa, and throughout the 10 months that she spent with us, we learned a bunch about her and she learned a bunch about us. After she went back to Germany, my sister and I decided to visit her for a month. We spent time in Germany traveling around, and I immediately fell in love with the country. Something about it sparked my interest and excited me to no extent, which is why I decided to spend my junior year of high school studying and living there. Germany taught me a wealth of knowledge, but I believe what hit my heart most about my trip was the things I learned about myself and who I am as a person. For the first time, I realized how strong I am and that I can weather any storm. I also learned the urge and hunger I have to learn about the world and different places in the world. And finally, I realized how easy it can be to learn about a culture, adapt it as your own, and ultimately see it as an extension of yourself. When I stepped out of the plane for that year abroad, I was in awe, not because it was new, it wasn't new to me at all, but because of the gigantic leap I had taken as a 16-year-old girl. I was leaving everything I had ever known, my little Sacramento bubble, to go live with a family that I'd never met before, and to go speak a language I didn't know. That's right, I didn't know German before I moved over there. I'd never taken a German class or I'd never studied it. That meant I was going in blind, which is why I felt so invincible stepping off of the plane. I knew that if I could handle this year, I would be able to handle anything life threw me, and that excited me to no end. Standing in the airport with this new strength that I felt, I knew this year would be nothing short of amazing, and I knew I was nothing short of amazing. I'm forever grateful for my year in Germany because it showed me how strong of a person I truly am. As the year went on, I did my best to absorb everything that surrounded me. I studied the language, the culture, the holidays, the people. I asked questions and truly lived in the moment. I know this is going to sound cliche, but I knew that this year was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and there was no chance I was going to waste any of it. The more comfortable I became with the German way of life, the more I wanted to travel outside of Germany. Traveling is so easy in Europe. Think about a drive from Sacramento to LA. You're still in California. If you drive that same amount in Europe, you've gone through at least one country, if not two. Think about that for a minute. The ease of traveling aided my interest in the world. I was able to travel to Paris, Denmark, Amsterdam, a couple cities in England, and of course, throughout Germany as well. But I never thought of myself as a traveler before this trip. In fact, I was pretty shy as a kid. But I realized that shyness was uncertainty about myself, and when I was doing my own thing, immersed in something that had nothing to do with me, that shyness didn't exist. I was so focused on what surrounded me that nothing else mattered. If I had never spent this year abroad, I would have never realized how complete I feel when I travel, or my need to travel, and that would have been a sad reality. Germany truly became my second home. I wasn't born into it there, but I adapted into it. I have a second family that lives there that's loving and supportive. I made a bunch of girlfriends that showed me the rings of being a German teenager and that I have countless memories with. And I even have a great group of guys that I met that were just as sad when I left as I was to leave. I realized that they impacted me, but I also impacted them. When I left for America, they gave me two major gifts that I will always remember. The girls made me a book full of a bunch of pictures of our adventures there, and whenever I'm feeling sad or down, I look at them and remember the bond that we share. The guys created something much larger for me. It's a piece of graffiti in our town. Graffiti is a huge part of the German culture. If any of you have seen any of the graffiti in downtown Sacramento, it reminds me of that. You see it everywhere, and you just know that it's part of their culture. But think about that. I have a piece of graffiti in Germany. It's crazy and excites me to no extent. People showed me that although I wasn't from Germany, it didn't matter. I'd put in the time and the effort to learn about them and who they were, and they were going to do the exact same for me. I didn't grow up German. I'll never know every single struggle that they go through, but I know that deep down in my heart, some part of me is German, and I truly see Germany as an extension of myself. When I think of who I am as a person, being German and speaking German are two of the top things that come to mind. Germany was a time for me to grow. It was a time for me to become the person that I am today. And at 16 years old, that's a crazy adventure to go through. I am who I am because of that year, and I will forever be grateful for it. And that's because moving to a country at such a young age is freeing. They don't know who you are, and you can be whoever you want to be, which means in most cases, you become the person you're meant to be. That's why I'm proud of my year abroad. Not because I speak German, not because I have friends and family over there now, which I'm grateful for both things, but because of the life-changing lessons I learned about who I am. No matter what life throws me, I know I can handle it because I am strong. I also know that my soul aches to travel and to learn about different countries and different cultures, and that I feel complete when I do so. And I also have learned that a strange culture, when you learn about it and immerse yourself in it, can ultimately become a part of who you are as a person. Germany taught me a lot about the world, but ultimately it taught me more about myself and who I am as a person.